Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And as always, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. And this time around, there's only one day you're gonna have to mark down, at least for regular releases, being April 27th. For 3,190 yen, 21 US, there is the high-grade Gyanstrom Agnes Custom, which comes with the space pack and a variety of accessories. A beam rifle, beam sword, beam axe, stored beam axe, heat rod, shield with beam effect parts, and parts forming Gatling guns for the chest. But while this is without a doubt a very nice set, the main event this month is the Master Grade Narrative Gundam C-Packs version Katoki, which can be yours for 7,700 yen, 51 US. And despite the name of the model kit, it can be built as either the C-Packs version, which is in the name, or as the vanilla version. And the same goes with the beam rifle. This is an upgraded version of the Jagen's beam rifle, and so it also comes with parts to build that stock Jagen version. Or you can build the upgraded version used by the C-Packs version. Other accessories include a shield, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, a transformable core fighter, and 2 Yona figures, a sitting one and a standing one. And on the figure front then, the biggest news were all of the details for the Metal Robot Spirits Akatsuki Shiranui Gundam Seed Freedom version. And also on the same day, pre-orders went live on Japanese Premium Bandai. It goes for 24,200 yen, 159 US, is slated for a September release, and is mostly just a recolor of the 2020 version. The colors are like ever so slightly different if you look very closely, because I think the gray might be a bit darker, and the shade of the darker shade of gold looks a bit more orangey now, but that's all I really noticed. The bigger change is the markings. And then they also say something about the model being sculpted to resemble the movie as closely as possible, but as far as I can tell, the actual figure is the same. So that's just some marketing language, I think. What is different then is the action base. It now comes with a newer and more stable version. And what also became available for pre-order over at Japanese P Bandai was the FW Gundam Converge Core Mobile Suit Gundam Last Shooting Set for 3,960 yen, 26 US. And for that price, we are getting basically everything we need for the final battle between Amuro and Char at Abawa-Ku. The RX-78-2 comes with a beam rifle, shield, 2 beam sabers, 2 hyper bazookas, and the damaged left arm. The Zeong has its wire-guided arms with extra bases. We have a special base with beam effect to replicate that last shooting, and we also get a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum. Announced just today then is the Realistic Model Series Wide Base Catapult Deck version anime. To celebrate the 45th anniversary of the original series, they're reissuing this thing, but with a few key differences. And the most striking one is, of course, the color scheme. The old one uses a more subdued and more realistic gray color scheme, but this one goes for tones of blue and green that look like they're straight out of the anime, and I'm absolutely loving it. Combined with the yellow highlights, this set simply looks phenomenal. And the other differences are that we now get 1/144 scale pre-painted figures of Bright, Sayla, Amuro putting his helmet on, Amuro without his helmet, Kai, Hayato, and Ryu, and that we're also getting a Slide of Water slide decals. What remains the same then is that it has 3 mobile suit hangers, which can be removed for the gun tank. It's got 3 removable catwalks to get to the cockpit, and a multifunctional launch pad, which can be put in one of 3 configurations. Next to the hangar area, as is seen in the anime, on top of the hangar area, so it can serve as the roof from which you can hang the maintenance claws, or in front of the hangar area to act as like an extended launch platform. The set goes for 18,480 yen, 122 US, is slated for a September release and will be available through regular hobby stores. So if Hobbling Japan carries this beauty, I will have it linked down below, and I will probably pick one up for myself as well. And then in China, they announced the next Gundam head from the BN head collection, this time in metallic blue, or Titan's version, as we call it around here. At 1,299 yuan, 180 US, it might sound a bit expensive at first, but this thing is the size of an actual human head. In fact, you can apparently actually wear it. Although I don't think you can see through it because it's got a light up function for the eyes and the main camera. And it's also got some really cool detailing going on and is currently slated for a summer release, but unfortunately only in China through Tmall. But it wasn't all good news this week, because on the 31st, the Gundam Factory Yokohama opened for the final time. Although they did put up a banger of a show. There was Yoshiyuki Tomino himself, who made an appearance, there were fireworks, and there was even a drone show. And for those who couldn't attend it, they did upload the final hour onto YouTube. And they even included some English subtitles. Although, gotta be honest here, watching the subtitles made me wonder why they even bothered putting them up in the first place, because like during the Q&A session, they only subtitled the questions and not the actual answers, which is like the thing you'd want to hear. And the speech given by Tomino didn't even have any subtitles at all. Again, something that you would want to understand. But hey, you can still enjoy the fireworks and the other spectacles going on. So it will of course be linked down below. Next up, we of course have some more Gundam Seed Freedom news. The movie has entered its 11th week and so far has earned 4.2 billion yen in box office revenue alone, which is almost $28 million. And they're still giving out freebies to Japanese moviegoers. There's a new illustration card featuring Lacus, and the Valkyrie of the Moonlight short story makes a return. And for the folks living in North America, there's also some good news, because it was announced that the movie will be getting a general release in over 800 cinemas there. The US and Canada will both get the subbed version on May the 7th, and then in the US alone, the English dubbed version will be shown on May the 8th. And to give you a feeling of how the English dubbed version is, they released the first 6.5 minutes over on YouTube. And while it is far from the worst dub I've seen, as someone who watched the original English dub, this one feels pretty atrocious. Like, not only are all of the voice actors different, but it feels like they made a concerted effort to pronounce everything differently. Like, there were gems like Luna Maria, Kira Yamato, the Gyon, and even the Galgook instead of Gelgook. I mean, what's next? Wyzak? The Akatsuki? The Zegok? I'll have the video linked down below for those who are brave enough to watch it. Something more pleasant to watch then is a promotional video where the voice actors for Shin and Kira built the high-grade Immortal Justice Gundam and high-grade Rising Freedom Gundam, and then just talk a little bit about them. The video was uploaded to the Bandai Spirits YouTube channel, and I will of course have that link down below as well. And if you need even more fun things to watch, then there's also the results for the Gundam Seed Freedom Grand Prix 2024, which I didn't have the time to cover last week when they were actually released. So, as a quick reminder, this is like a giant popularity contest for both the characters and the mobile suits of the Cosmic Era. And you can watch the results presented to you by Maren and Athron in the video linked down below. And what I will also have linked down below is a link to NordVPN, because you will need to set your region to Japan to watch it. And by using that link, you'll not only get a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. Alternatively, you can also keep watching this video, where I will give you a quick rundown of the top 10. So for characters, we have some surprising results, starting with Stella in 10th place. Like, I expected her to be popular, but I wouldn't have expected her to beat out other popular characters like Mulaflaga, Captain Romius, Not You, or Maren. 9th place then is Lunamaria, 8th place Diarca, and in 7th place, we get the guy that surprised me the most, Neumann. Like, either he's getting a major role in Gundam Seed Freedom, or I just completely missed how popular this guy actually is. Or maybe we just have a giant divide between the English fandom and the Japanese fandom, because sure, he is one of the more memorable side characters who's on the Archangel, but that's all he ever was in my eyes, a side character. Then we have Isaac in 6th place and Shin in a respectable 5th place. But that does mean that he again got beaten by Athron, who's in 4th place. Some people just never win. And then the top 3 also turned out somewhat differently from what I was expecting. Lack is in 3rd, Kira in 2nd, and Kigali in 1st place, which does give me some hope for her role in Gundam Seed Freedom. The top 10 for mobile suits, though, is a lot more repetitive. We have the Infinite Justice Type 2, the Rising Freedom, the regular Infinite Justice, the Akatsuki, the Strike Freedom, the Strike Rouge, the Zagok, which is the one funny thing on this list because it ranks higher than the Infinite Justice Type 2, the Destiny Gundam Spec 2, the Mighty Strike Freedom, and then the grand winner is the regular Freedom Gundam. So yeah, I think it's quite clear that the Freedom Gundam and its variants are the most popular mobile suits by a long shot. And I'm also going to give 2 honorable mentions here. The Strike Gundam, which is one of my favorites, was 11th, and the Buster Gundam was 13th, making it the 2nd most popular machine of the original 5G weapons. And I think that this was particularly funny because of a story that I think a lot of people are familiar with. So, back when Gundam Seed was airing, the Buster Gundam, or at least the model kit of the Buster Gundam, was the least popular of all of the model kits. So this is then what they supposedly made the decision to have Diarca and the Buster Gundam to defect to the good guys. Because, you know, by making him part of the main team, he'll get better model kit sales. And, well, since he's 13th now in the popularity contest, I guess they definitely managed to boost his popularity. Then we got pictures from the 51st Tokyo Motorcycle Show, where we got a little Gundam Seed Freedom booth, and of course there was also some more stuff to buy. For the people who get to go to the Gundam Seed Freedom screenings, where you're allowed to cheer and wave a penlight around, they've got this Gundam Seed Freedom penlight strap for 1,200 yen, 8 US. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Messer Type F01 has joined the fray, and in UC Engage, the UR Utakashim and UR Moon Gundam have become available as unit assemblies, alongside the first new type event going live, with unlockables including the UR Gym 3 Powered Full Armor and UR Ubaldo Morena. And in other news, on the 30th, the Gundam base had their 3rd anniversary event, where the members of Linkl Planet were managed for a day. It was announced that in Japan, applications for the 12th Gunpla Builders World Cup will begin on May the 22nd, and the box art was released for the Gundam Seed Memorial CD box. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 28th, the Primaniacs X Gundam Seed Freedom Perfume collection went up for sale, allowing you, or things you own, to smell like your favorite Gundam Seed Freedom character. For 6,600 yen a pop, which is around 50 US, there's Kira, Lacus, Athran, Kigali, Shin, Lunamaria, Orphe, or Isaac. And on Monday, there was the G-Frame Full Armor UC 0079 Memorial Selection. As always, with the frame arm sets, we get 4 mobile suits consisting of 2 sets. An armor set, which has the armor and a static frame, and a frame set, which has a movable frame and all of the weapons. Each set goes for 748 yen, 5 US, and the available ones are the RX-78-2 Gundam Final Battle Specifications, which comes with a shield, beam rifle, 2 hyper bazookas, and a beam saber. Char Zaku 2, which comes with a Heat Hawk, Zaku machine gun, spare magazine, bazooka, and parts to turn it into the high mobility type. The standard Jim, which comes with a shield, beam spray gun, active beam saber, and parts to turn it into the commander version, being a twin beam saber backpack and a beam rifle. And then the Dom, which comes with a giant bazooka, 2 Sturmfaust, heat saber, and parts to turn it into the Rig Dom. For this week's reading material then, there was the awesome Gunpla Techniques to Make on the Weekends Nostalgic Diorama Edition, which features some frankly amazing dioramas done with the old 80s Gunpla model kits. Like, it's really cool to see just how far they were able to push them. Like, especially if you've built one of those things, you know just how limited in articulation they are. And I also love how they literally have a Zaku 1 painting desert camo onto a Gelgoog with a mobile suit-sized paint bucket and a paintbrush. I don't think that's the most efficient way to do that. Then there was the SD Gundam Perfect Modeling Manual, Gundam Archives featuring the Master Grade Zeta Gundam version Katoki, the English ebook version of Gundam Forward, Gundam Seed the Descending Sword version, which was released on Amazon US, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and the Netherlands, the Gunpla Catalog 2024 Master Grade and Full Mechanics Edition, so I guess it's going to be a very thin book. The second chapter of the Gundam Thunderbolt side story Sunflower is available online and linked down below. And the 11th chapter of the Battle Tales of Flanagan Boone have also become available online and is linked down below. Of course, both of those chapters are in Japanese only. On to this week's apparel news then, where Bankore kicked things off on the 28th with, of course, a bunch of Gundam Seed Freedom things. For 4,620 yen each, 30 US, there are 16 different bath towels with screenshots from the movie. And for 2,200 yen each, 15 US, you could get different screenshots on a face towel. And you could get even more towels on April the 1st. For 3,850 yen, around 25 US, you could get a vertical or horizontal Mighty Strike Freedom bath towel, and with that same design, you could also get a wall scroll for 3,300 yen, 22 US, or a keychain for 880 yen, 6 US. Or for 2,750 yen, 18 US, you could get a bunch of big size acrylic stands, featuring the main cast of Gundam Seed Freedom in either their main outfit or their piloting suit. And again, amongst those pilot suit figures, there is no Kigali. But what you can get is a standing blue, flying blue, standing Tori, or flying Tori acrylic stand. So I think it's quite clear who the merchandise designers think is the more important character here. and it doesn't look like it's Kigali. One day later then, pre-orders went up for these Astakasia uniform inspired pouches. They go for 5,500 yen each, 36 US, and the available designs are standard Astakasia or holder. And then finally today, we got some more towels. This time featuring the ending crawls of Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny for 1,980 yen a pop, 13 US. And all of these Banquet items are slated for a May release. Meanwhile, over at SRIG then, they again collaborated with Alpha Industries to create some more Gundam-inspired jackets. For 44,000 yen, 290 US, you can get an Alpha Light MA1 jacket inspired by either Neo Zeon and Char, or the Earth Federation Space Forces and Amuro. And at first look, the Amuro model really reminded me of the regular Earth Federation Forces model that we got last week. Because like the color looks almost identical, but the big difference then are the patches that are now more Amuro themed instead of like generic Federation themed. And they'll both be available in physical Strict G stores beginning April 13th. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. Since we just had April Fool's Day, Gundam.info wanted to know which Gundam character would be the easiest to fool. And, well, the vote was pretty unanimous. With 71.1%, Shin was the winner. Or, I guess in this case, the loser.
お前さんは存在自体がジョークだろうが。
He's followed by Shino with 10.2%, Bicha with 10%, and Michelle with 8.7%, making him the de facto winner in this case. As for the currently ongoing poll then, it also looks like the winner is going to be very clear, because Gundam.info wants to know which company we would rather work for. Zeonic, Zimad, or Anaheim Electronics. And I don't want to give any spoilers here, but Zeon kinda loses the war, and Anaheim then acquires both of the other companies. So technically, you could say that all three options are the same here, with the only difference being your job certainty. Because you know how it goes when one company takes over another. They restructure it, streamline it, and whatever other euphemism they've got for firing people. So yeah, Anaheim Electronics is the leader by a long shot here. Then followed by Zeonic, with Zimad being in last place. Apparently in the beginning of the poll, Zimad was closer to Zeonic, but then their engine gave out. And if you want to cast your vote in this poll, I'll of course have the links down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.